Hi there, Claire here. Today I'm going to talk to you about how to select flower essences by dowsing. This is the most effective way to make up a personal prescription or a selection or combination for yourself. It's also how you would do it for someone else. There are a few other steps involved with the process when you're doing it for someone else, which I'll cover in my next video. If you want to get more information about dowsing and how you work with flower essences, you can get a copy of my book, which explains everything that you need to know about flower essences, and it covers dowsing and how to prescribe flower essences. Firstly, let's make sure your flower essences or box are in a container where you can't see the labels, like these ones just here. This way you'll not select by guessing and what people need, even if it's only subconsciously. And then you need to ask your pendulum for the highest and finest guidance, for the good of all and the harm of none, and for your highest good. This will connect you to your higher self, and you also need to set your intention that this is what you're doing. Take your pendulum, and you need to ask your pendulum if it's okay for you to make your selection of essences for yourself now at this time. Make sure you're not wearing a watch and that you don't touch the flower essences bottles with your clothing in any way. You must do it with your bare skin, so you get a good energetic contact. You need to make sure that your clothing is sort of out of the way and you pull your sleeves up so that you know then it's not going to touch. Then you pinch the top of each bottle in turn. You can see, I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but you pinch the top of each bottle in turn, and you, with your free hand, you swing your pendulum over the top and you ask if you need this bottle, and it'll either give you a yes or it'll give you a no. And if it's a yes, you put the bottle to the side, and you repeat that for all the other essences. At the end of this process, you'll have a selection of chosen essences that you have taken from your box. Take a clean pipette bottle, take each of your selected flower essences and ask each one by dowsing the individual bottle. Ask if it's in the negative or the positive. 90% of the time it will be in the negative. Very rarely does it go in the positive. And you only tend to get that if someone has something like bipolar and they're extremely exuberant about something, and that needs calming down. So it's normally people have a deficiency in what is required from the flower essence. So it'll normally be in the negative. So you ask how many degrees in the negative it is, so that you get a handle on how out of balance the person is in that particular area. And you ask your higher self to set the parameters between 1 to 10. So how many degrees out of balance between 1 and 10? So that otherwise you'll end up with something ridiculous number going on. So you start off by, and you say, is it 1 degree out, 2 degrees, 3 degrees, 4 degrees, 5 degrees, and eventually it'll go yes, and it'll stop you. And mine tends to go across when it's got to where it needs to stop. Just make a note of each of the details so that you can keep a record for yourself, and you'll know if you're improving or not, or and you can keep it. You'll know next time you do a prescription whether you had the same essence again, and whether you've got better in that area or not, or whether you've got different essences that have similar meanings. It does help you to keep a track of what's going on with your development rate. You also need to ask how many drops you need to put from your stock essence into the dosage bottle. And to do that, you ask how many drops, and you hold the pendulum over the bottle and say, how many drops do I need? And it'll, again, the same process. Is it 1, 2, 3, and there you go, it stops. 3 drops. So it'll keep going. Yes, you need that. Yes, and then it stops. And you will get used to how your pendulum works, and because we're all different, we have a slightly different energy going through us. Everybody's individual, so you'll have your own. You'll get used to your own way of that happening. But basically, it changes direction when you need to stop. So you put those 3 drops into your dosage bottle, and you take the next one and you do the repeat the process, so that you can end up with all your drops in the bottom of your bottle. And then you need to fill it up halfway, the remainder halfway, with spring water, and then fill the rest of it up with brandy, and 40% brandy, so that you need to make sure it's got a good preservative in there, because obviously people, when they're using it, they put it on their tongue, and it stops some of the it keeps it clean, really. When you finish making up your essence, you've got your basically all the drops that you have selected, and you've got 50-50 water and brandy in the remaining space. Give it a good shake, make sure that it's all mixed properly, and then douse this bottle and ask how many drops you need to take. So you need to ask how many drops a day do I need to how many drops do I need to take, and then ask how many times a day it is. So you end up with, say, 3 drops 3 times a day, and that's how it works. And you squeeze out your drops on it and you put it under your tongue, and that's the best way to get it into your bloodstream quickly. I hope that helps you to understand how to douse to make a personal prescription for yourself. All the information you need is also available on my website, details below, and you can get my book on Amazon, and it's in paperback or Kindle format. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It makes all the difference to me, and you can also see other videos about flower essences. Thanks for watching today. Bye for now.